Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Addington. I used to work around here.
I have my bags in there.
I started at the Klamath Water Users right after Dan Keppen in 2005, and did about a decade of work there. And it's good to see everybody. You all look a little older than the last time I remember seeing you. All these notes are up here.
But it's right here.
We had to move away. We live up north outside of Salem right now. I work for the Oregon Farm Bureau, and I was almost exactly a month ago, I was in Washington, D.C. For a meeting with American Farm Bureau and some of the other states, and I found myself at dinner with the president of the Arizona Farm Bureau, a guy named John Bolts from Yuma. And John was a great guy. We ended up sitting next to each other talking, and he asked where I came from and what I did, and I talked about Klamath, and he knew the Klamath because of the water issues, and he says, he goes, I cannot remember this guy's name, but I was I think it was some kind of leadership group through USDA, and Sarah Brosh was a part of that, and John Bolts was a part of that. And he said, man, this guy was from Klamath, and I thought he was a little off. But then I realized he wasn't. He really knew what he was talking about. And I just said, that's Mike Byrne. And he goes, how'd you know that? I go, yeah, we know. Mike's been connected to my family in a kind of a weird way for a long time. The first time I remember meeting Mike Byrne was at Pothole Springs out in the Devil's Garden, and we were cutting wood. My dad is here. He's right over there. My dad, his uncles are Herman and Ray Vowell. So some of you know of them. And that's the first time we were all cutting wood out there. It's the first time I remember meeting Mike. And I remember him trying to convince my dad that he had the solution to some of the ups and downs in the cattle market, and that was his Adopt a Juniper program. The Adopt a Juniper program was he was going to send, cover the Bay Area in these pamphlets about, for just $1 a day, you could adopt a juniper, and they'll send a picture once a year. And I'm really surprised that hasn't taken off. I keep looking for it. There's a million, everybody who's going to get up here can tell a DC story about Mike, and many people in this room have heard this one before, but I'm sorry, I got to tell it. I don't remember what the issue was, but Mike, we had to go to DC, and I had to go for something, and I was like, Mike, can we get back there? And it was kind of short notice. It was just me and him. We ended up on a red eye back to DC. That's not a good idea. I'm going to tell you right now. That's not a good idea. And we flew all night. We landed. We got in a cab and went to the National Cattleman's office. And he pried his way into the door and got us in there. And we threw some water on our face and changed clothes. And then we had meetings just like right away, starting all day. And we went to these meetings all morning. We had a big old lunch somewhere. And in the afternoon, we were with our lobbyist, Jeff Eisenberg, who's right over here. And the three of us had a meeting at the Department of Interior in one of these just nondescript, terrible conference rooms, just gray everywhere. And two mid-level bureaucrats, I can still remember their names, just droning on and on and on. And I'm in this meeting with my little notepad in front of me, and I feel my head snap. I fell asleep in this meeting, and I was mortified, and I was like, at least I've got Mike. So I look over, and he's out. So I don't know what we were looking for, but we didn't get it that day. I guess I just want to wrap up and say that really what I want to leave you with about Mike is and people have referenced it. It's his heart. It's in the right place, and he is selfless, and he will do anything for anyone. He has been so good to my family. Herman and Ray Val worked for his family for decades. I feel like I worked for him for a decade. My dad spent his summers at Steel Swamp with the Vowels, and that's a sacred place in our family. And Mike opens the door anytime we want to go out there and poke around or do anything. He's been there. And then just quickly, my time at the Klamath Water Users was not a total piece of cake. It was rough, and we were working on really, really tough things. And to have the support, never wavered. To have the support of somebody like Mike meant everything. It just meant we could keep doing what we were doing. And we tried really hard. So Mike, appreciate everything. Thank you.